A person's greatness is determined by their thoughts. This timeless truth has been proven repeatedly by the lives of successful individuals like Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, and Jeff Bezos. Napoleon Hill, in his famous book, Think and Grow Rich, said, "What you think about, you become." But if that's true, why do so many people struggle to succeed? Do they not think about their future? Do they fail to see their own potential? In today's story, you'll discover the truth behind these questions and learn a life-changing lesson. Plus, you'll pick up some new English words while we're at it. So don't go anywhere. This video will truly be worth your time. Every morning, at a crowded city bus stop, sat a man people barely noticed. His clothes were worn, his shoes torn, and his eyes carried the quiet pain of being ignored. His name was Amir. For years, he survived by asking strangers for a few coins, just enough for a meal, just enough to keep going one more day. He wasn't always like this. Once he had dreams, small ones but bright. He wanted to open a small tea stall, maybe near this same bus stop. But life, as it often does, had other plans. His father's illness, mounting debts, and a series of wrong choices pulled him into poverty. When people passed him, they didn't see a man, they saw a beggar. One afternoon, as buses roared and people rushed past, a young man in a suit stopped near him. He was on a phone call, frustrated, saying something like, "No one wants to invest if there's no return." Amir looked up. His curiosity stirred. When the man hung up, Amir, almost whispering, said, "Sir, may I ask, what does return mean?" The man gave him a surprised look. Then he said, "Return means exchange. You give something valuable, you get something back. That's how the world works." Amir nodded slowly. The businessman smiled faintly and said, "Try offering something, not just asking. You might be surprised." He walked away. That night, Amir couldn't sleep. Those words echoed in his mind. You give something valuable, you get something back. He thought about his days, his routine, his begging bowl. What could he possibly offer? He had nothing. Or did he? The next morning, as he sat in his usual spot, he noticed how tired people looked. The rush, the noise, the frustration. For the first time, he looked beyond his bowl and saw others' struggles. And then, an idea took root. The following day, Amir borrowed a broom from a street vendor and began sweeping the bus stop before the morning rush. He didn't ask for money, he just cleaned. People noticed, but they didn't understand. Why would a beggar clean the street for free? Days passed. Some smiled at him. A few dropped coins, but that wasn't what drove him anymore. It was the sense of doing something that mattered. He felt alive again. One morning, a shop owner nearby approached him. "Hey, you clean every day, right? I like that. Would you sweep in front of my shop too?" "I'll pay you." Amir couldn't believe it. That single moment felt like sunlight breaking through years of darkness. He agreed immediately. Word spread. A fruit seller asked for the same help, then a restaurant owner. Within weeks, Amir wasn't begging anymore. He was working, earning, but he didn't stop there. He saved every rupee he could. Instead of spending on comfort, he spent on vision. He bought his own broom, then a dustpan, then a bucket. Each small item felt like a victory. A would you? A month later, he decided to do something bold. He printed a small cardboard sign that read, "Clean streets, clean minds. Help keep our city beautiful." He placed it next to his cleaning spot. People began to notice not just the act, but the intention. Some stopped to thank him. A few took photos and posted them online. And then, one viral moment changed everything. A journalist passing by noticed him cleaning the bus stop early one morning. She filmed him, posted his story online, and titled it, "The Beggar Who Stopped Begging." Within a day, the video spread like wildfire. Comments poured in, people praising his effort, calling him inspiring, offering to help. The next morning, as Amir arrived, something unexpected happened. A car pulled up, and out stepped the same businessman he'd spoken to months ago. "I saw your video," he said with a proud smile. "You took my advice better than anyone I know." Amir laughed softly. "Sir, your words planted the seed. I just watered it." The businessman nodded. "What's your plan now?" Amir hesitated, then said, "I want to expand." Hire more people like me, those who've lost everything. We can clean, fix, and make the city better." The man smiled and handed him a card. "Come to my office tomorrow. Let's talk about investment." That night, Amir sat under the same streetlight where he used to count coins. Only this time, he wasn't counting money. He was counting dreams. Months later, the city looked different. Bright orange uniforms moved through markets, stations, and streets, all part of Clean Start Services, the company Amir founded. He wasn't just earning anymore. He was employing others, people who once begged beside him. One day, during an interview, a reporter asked, "What was the turning point of your life?" Amir smiled and said, "When I realized I wasn't powerless. I was just sleeping. All I needed was to wake up." The reporter asked, "And what do you want others to learn from your story?" He replied, "That the world owes you nothing, but it's willing to give you everything if you offer something valuable first. You don't need money to start. You need purpose." The camera zoomed in on his face, calm, confident, fulfilled. He continued, "You see, life didn't change when people gave me money. It changed when I stopped asking and started giving. Giving effort, giving value, giving hope." That line became the company's slogan, "Start by giving." Years passed. Clean Start grew into one of the city's most respected community ventures. Every morning, Amir still visited that same bus stop, now beautifully maintained. He would sit quietly for a few minutes, watching people rush to work. People who once ignored him, now nodding respectfully. One morning, a small boy approached him, holding a torn coin pouch. "Uncle, can you help me?" the boy asked shyly. Amir smiled gently. "Of course, but tell me, what will you give me in return?" The boy looked confused. "I don't have anything." Amir placed a hand on his shoulder. "You have something, my boy, your effort. Promise me that you'll work hard and I'll help you." The boy nodded, eyes bright with hope. Amir gave him a warm meal and said, "Remember, don't just take, give, and the world will open its doors." The boy smiled, and in that moment, it felt like life had come full circle. The once beggar had become the giver, the teacher, the inspiration. So, what do we learn from Amir's story? That greatness doesn't come from wealth or status. It comes from realizing your worth, no matter where you start. You might be at your lowest today, but as long as you can give, your effort, your kindness, your time, you have the power to rise. Because success doesn't start when people believe in you. It starts when you believe in yourself. If this story inspired you, give this video a like. It really helps us reach more people who need to hear stories like this. Comment below, what lesson hit you the most? Was it the moment Amir picked up the broom, or when he built his business? I'd love to read your thoughts. And don't forget to share this story with someone who needs a reminder that change begins with one decision: to give instead of wait. See you in the next story, where we'll explore another journey of transformation and self-belief. Until then, remember this: your value isn't in what you have, but in what you offer to the world.